What is going on, guys? Today, in celebration of the very close upcoming new year, I'm going to be going over my top 5 best moments of One Piece in 2018. So, if my calculations are correct, that means that the least recent chapter I can use is 890. Everything after that is fair game. Everything before that was before 2018. So, including all those chapters up until now, I have 5 particular moments, not necessarily chapters, so there could be more than one in one chapter, even though there isn't, just putting it out there. The top 5 moments of 2018. So, at number 5, I have finding out about the Straw Hat, right, in Marie-Joie. I was super excited at that point. It was very unexpected, obviously. It's not even so much the story, really, that was so awesome, I guess, since we didn't really find anything out. We didn't even know who was looking at the Straw Hat. Really, you could say maybe we still don't exactly know who that was. Pretty sure it was Im-sama, but not the point. It was more about the reaction that was so exciting to me. Being a One Piece YouTuber, I guess, being able to like try and have to make theories about this kind of stuff, and just enjoying everyone's reaction to it and coming up with ideas for it. That was what was so exciting to me. I mean, I have my theory. Well, I wouldn't even really call it that because I don't even think it anymore, or think it at all, I guess, really, because I always do disclaim with my theories that I don't necessarily believe them. I'm just putting it out there as an idea, but I don't really think that it was like a giant straw hat or something like that in the past. I just think it's something we're going to have to wait on, I guess. We'll figure it out later. It'll all come together. It'll make sense. But yeah, I just had a really fun time after that chapter came out, so that absolutely had to be on this list at some point, and I'm putting it at number 5. Then, pretty similar, the discovery of Im-sama. That was also very exciting in a similar way, of course, but it also was exciting just for myself. I mean, this person is kind of being revealed to in one way or another, maybe not necessarily in a combat sense, but in some way, shape, or form to be the final boss, right? Like, this is the person that's been pulling the strings all this time. This person seems to be connected to the giant straw hat, so it really has changed the story. I mean, people have always argued about who is going to be the final boss. Perhaps it would be Blackbeard. Perhaps it would be Akainu or something. Maybe some other Marine. Maybe even Shanks or something. Who really knows? But there's been all these ideas, and then this person just introduced out of nowhere during, like, what's kind of the greatest arc in the history of One Piece, Reverie, right? I don't really think it's long enough to really say it's fair to compare it to others, but in terms of per chapter, it is pretty good. So that was how it ended, really. And it was very exciting. So that for sure was going to be on this list. The introduction of the final boss, right? That was pretty cool. Number 3, a battle between men is what I'm calling it, right? When Katakuri takes off his scarf or whatever you want to call that thing, and he tells Flampe to pretty much go fuck herself because he is in the middle of a battle with Luffy, which is kind of interesting because at the beginning of the fight, he probably wouldn't have cared, right? He probably just would have been like, okay, yeah. But at this point, he's pretty much saying, I'm in a battle where I'm not really sure who's going to be the victor, right? I'm finally against someone who can actually challenge myself. So I want to continue this. I want to do this all by myself. He rips off his scarf, which is something he pretty much never can do. And the thing is, at this point, at the point of actually reading it, we think, okay, well, the reason he has a scarf is because he's embarrassed about his mouth. And then it only gets so much better later when we find out the real reason that he actually wears a scarf. So he never cared in the first place. If someone wants to make fun of him, he'll just kick their ass. But then when we find out about Brule and whatnot, everything changed, and we realize how serious it really was that he was wearing that scarf. He just rips that bitch off. She has the exact kind of reaction you would expect from stupid-ass Big Mom pirates, her kids, I guess, the Charlotte family, and, like, a small child. Exactly what you'd expect. Finally, we have Katakuri walking back to Luffy, giving apologies, whatnot. Luffy saying, oh, what do you mean? This is a battle between pirates. What do you expect? And then they both use Conqueror's Haki and just knock everyone. I mean, it was so insane. We didn't even know at this point that Katakuri had Conqueror's Haki. I don't think anyone really even suspected it, honestly. So that was very cool. Katakuri being in, like, my top 10 favorite characters, finding out about all that, that was a very good moment for me. That absolutely was going to be on this list, at least at number 3. Then, of course, this one people might be surprised is on my list, but it definitely is for me. At number two, I have the Kaido one-shot moment, right? That that was unbelievable. Some people might not even like that. Maybe they think the Yonkos are too strong, or they just don't like that the main character loses or something. I don't know. I bet a lot of people don't like that moment that much, but that was an extremely vital moment in the story for me. This indicated that Yonkos are exactly as powerful as we had suspected, or at least Kaido is, right? I'm the person that's always saying I think that Kaido is the strongest living character in the series right now. So that was a decent amount of confirmation. I mean, of course, maybe Shanks could do the same thing to Luffy. He probably could do the same thing to Luffy. Dragon could probably do the same thing to Luffy. But at the very least, it gave confirmation to how powerful a Yonko really is. Now, of course, again, I still think that an Admiral could match up against a Yonko. I don't think they would win, most likely, but I think it would be a real battle. I think that they're on the same level, at least. So it's not like that changed or anything. But just to see someone as powerful as Luffy who has pretty much surpassed Katakuri at this point, for Kaido to just one-shot him, I mean, it was just so legendary. Luffy never gets his ass beat that bad. I mean, he does lose sometimes. He lost to Crocodile 2 times before actually beating him. But that just... I mean, Kaido is drunk. He comes in drunk. He lets Luffy barrage him with a ton of attacks, and which seemingly do no damage at all. And then he gets up, and as soon as he actually tries, he one-shots him. He just one-shots him. And he wasn't even in his dragon form. So, like, what even happened? I mean... that had to go on this list. I really love what that means for the story. I think it's going to make the ending of One Piece that much better. So, absolutely, the number 2 spot for me. And at number 1, again, we are going back to Katakuri here. You had to know. If you've seen my channel, you have to know that this is where I was going to end. My favorite moment in 2018 was the surrender of Katakuri. Yes, I am calling it the surrender of Katakuri because that's what happened. The moment that we see the panel where he is just lying on his back was the moment that I lost my mind this year. I could not believe the legendariness of what I was reading. Katakuri's character is so surprisingly good. I mean, I've always known from the beginning that Dofi was going to be one of the most interesting characters, and that panned out exactly as expected. He's pretty much always been my favorite character since Dressrosa. But Katakuri, I didn't really expect that much from. I mean, when he was first introduced in the story, of course, it was really cool. It's like, okay, this is a top Yonko commander. He seems to have a cool character design. And then, of course, I got slapped in the face with him having red hair and shit. Not a fan of that. But what are you going to do, right? He was still very cool, very badass. I mean, what can I say, right? Like, he just got better and better throughout the arc. He went from being this guy who seemed to not really have any desires of his own, pretty much emotionless, just a machine, a non-stop machine that just kicks ass all the time, to a real character that I can actually get behind and understand. I mean, it was just absolutely fantastic. His character development throughout the fight with Luffy, his insane abilities. I mean, his awakened Delphord, he has future sight, and it's probably better than most people that have future sight or something because of the amount of emphasis that was on it. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I bet the Admirals are going to have like better future sight or something, but who really knows, right? It was awesome. I enjoyed every bit of the end of Whole Cake Island, even though I didn't enjoy the beginning so much because of Katakuri. He pretty much ran the show for me, so him going out in the way he did, I mean, I didn't want him to win. I didn't want him to lose either, though. So for him to do that, for him to surrender in a way that makes perfectly logical sense, for him pretty much to ask for Luffy to come back so they can have a real final battle, that was absolutely perfect for me. I remember before the chapter came out, everyone was talking about it and it was like, I don't think I really want Katakuri to lose here because it doesn't make sense, but I don't want him to just win either because it doesn't really make sense, at least for the plot, right? So he comes out here with, and I was trying to figure out, I'm like, how is Oda going to make this happen? I mean, I don't know. I guess I just have to believe in him because you always believe in Oda, right? He always comes through. And then he gives me this, the absolute perfect ending to the fight. My God. Honestly, nothing else in this year compared to this moment, in my eyes, at least. I'm sure this isn't even a lot of people's number 1. But for me, this was the crowned moment of 2018. It's the thing that brings me back to One Piece, the thing that makes me really not be able to stop reading it. Shit like this that happens throughout the series. It's not the greatest moment of all time, but it's definitely up there. It's probably top 10, honestly. So this had to be there, right? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was a good last video for 2018. Thank you very much for this awesome year. It's been the best year of my life, actually, because of how much fun I've had on YouTube. So I very much do appreciate you guys. Sorry if if I sound a little weird. I have kind of a cold going on or something. That's why I haven't really been recording so much this past week. And I'm also going on vacation in like 4.5 hours. So I'm not going to have too many videos in this upcoming week either. I do apologize for that. I will have one, though. I do have one planned. It's actually not related to One Piece either. It's kind of like a channel type of video. It's not like an update or anything. Not something lame like that. But it's going to be pretty funny. You might be interested in this. So I'm probably going to be releasing that next weekend or something. And then the next week, I'm hoping I will be putting out 3 videos a week for an indefinite amount of time. I'd like to be doing that in the future. So sorry that it slowed down at the end. I'm pretty sick and I'm going on vacation now too. So I decided just to get this one out there for you. Say screw the cold, whatever. I want to get something out there for sure. And I will be doing the one next week. So I'm going to have a really fun vacation. I'm going to come back, be strong. Thanks you guys so much for the best year of my life. It was absolutely fantastic. It's really fun interacting with you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon.